Up and going. Wait for it. Wait for it. Pull it up on my end. There we go. We should be live. Let's see. Let's see. There we go. We are officially live. What is going on, everybody? Wonderbro here with Vacate Fear. Another stream today. I would have streamed yesterday, but I caught like some sort of stomach bug. I don't know what it was, dude. I caught like some sort of stomach bug, or maybe it was food poisoning. I don't know, but I was out for the count. I was miserable for like the last 24 hours. Oh, God. And I'm just now starting to feel a bit better. A little sensitive. Still a little sensitive. But, I'm starting to feel a little bit better, so, but I was having it rough. I was having it rough, man. There for a minute, it was pretty nasty. But we're back. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Ready for this? What's up? I finally caught one, dude. You're always trying to get in. Happy to see you here, man. Madison, daily reminder that I love you. Daily reminder that I love you more. Yeah, I was feeling pretty rough, chat, or I would have streamed yesterday. I slept for like 24 hours, and in between sleeping, I was up trying to get my stomach to just stop. I was dying. But we're feeling a little bit better today. So I woke up, I got caught up on everything. Still a little bit sensitive, but for the most part, we're starting to get back into the swing of things. Food poisoning is no bueno. Yes. I don't know if it was food poisoning. It could have just been like a 24-hour bug or something. But it was rough, dude. It was rough. But we're back. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Just low energy right now. Today's stream, your new recovery mantra. Just leave it alone. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Here recently, I've been trying to stress the importance of keeping this thing simple, right? Instead of overcomplicating it. Confusion and overcomplication leads to a lot of unnecessary suffering, and it keeps people stuck in the anxiety cycle unnecessarily. So I've kind of been going with this theme of streams recently where we try to make things as simple as possible. You sound good, Wonderbro. I appreciate it. Thank you. I haven't been feeling that great, but thank you. I appreciate that. Hopefully this bug or whatever it is I had is over, and I can start just to relax and get back into the swing of things. D-Block, what is up? Hello, Wonderbro. How you doing, man? Hope everyone is doing well today. We'll give it a few minutes to let some people get in here. We need to let the Discord chat know that we're live, too. Let's do that real quick. How's everybody doing today? How have you been? Let me know. Hey, man. Slow Jam, this is going to be the perfect stream for you, bro. Stay tuned. Let's see here. Let's let Discord chat know that we're live. We are live on the main channel. I've been trying to do daily streams. Like I've been pretty good with it so far, like the daily streams. I just could not function yesterday. Felt like total crap. Keep it simple, stupid. Yes, keep it simple. Overcomplication and confusion leads to so much unnecessary suffering, especially when we're talking about sensitized nerves. I cannot stress the fact enough that overcomplication keeps so many people unnecessarily stuck. Just on the recovery grind, brother. Hey, man. Well, this stream, this is going to be a good one. I have a feeling it's going to be a good one. Your new recovery mantra, just leave it alone. We're going to talk about that today. Give it a few more minutes, few more seconds. We'll get going here. Hope you are all doing well today. All right, chat. All right, chat. Clear the throat. All right. Let's jump into the topic of today's stream, and I'll say it one more time. Your new recovery mantra: just leave it alone. Now, since the theme of the streams here recently has been to keep it as simple as possible, that is what we're going with again today. So let's start with an example. Examples are always good, right? You're sitting there and you have a negative intrusive thought. Now, this could be about anything, all right? This could be about anything. Doesn't matter. Let's not get too specific here. This could be about anything. It could be about what might happen as a result of your anxiety, what might happen if you have a panic attack. It could be something a little bit more crazy, like fearing going crazy. It could be something a little bit more out there. It could be something about your future. It could be some sort of worry. It could be anything. Anything. Let's not get too specific. It could be anything. Any sort of negative intrusive thought. Now, while you're sensitized, those negative intrusive thoughts pack way more of a punch than they normally would. So you're sitting there, you get this thought about anything and everything, and it causes some anxiety. It packs a bit of a punch because you're sensitized. The body doesn't know any better, especially in a sensitized state, right? So whatever thought it is that you have, boom, there it is. There comes some anxiety with it. What do you do in that moment? Now, a lot of people in that moment, they start to try to remember everything I've ever said in every stream and every video, and they start to overcomplicate it, and they're trying to think back and reach back to a video I did 2 months ago. What would Wonder Bros say to do here? You know, what's going on here? What do I do here? And this leads to confusion. This leads to resistance, and this leads to getting very, very upset. All right, so let's keep it simple. It doesn't matter what the context of the thought is. That's the first thing to realize. Doesn't matter what the context of the thought is. Doesn't matter if it seems important. Doesn't matter if you think it's important. Doesn't matter if it's total imagination. Doesn't matter. There's the thought. What do? Instead of trying to grasp every little thing that I've ever said about anything, all you need to do is remind yourself to just leave it alone. And when we say just leave it alone, we mean to let that thought be there if it wants to be there. You're not trying to fight it away. That's just fuel to the fire. You're not trying to replace it. That's just fuel to the fire. Your only job in that moment is to remind yourself to just leave it alone. And this is something you need to live by. So instead of trying to force the thought out, instead of trying to replace it, instead of trying to argue with it, you can have the thought. You can allow yourself to have the thought, which is what you should be doing. But you should just be leaving it alone at that point. And you need to remind yourself, just leave it alone. So there's that thought. And all you need to do, instead of trying to grasp every little thing I've ever said on every stream and video, you just need to simply remind yourself, just leave it alone. And there comes, let's say there's feeling with it. A lot of people try to use that as like a loophole or, a cop-out. They say, well, I would just leave the thought alone, but it's bringing all these anxious feelings. Now I feel like I'm obligated to do something. Well, understand, even if it brings anxious feelings, that's because you're sensitized, and that's because the body doesn't know any better. You need to just leave that alone as well, because the more you get involved, the more you just fuel the fire. So if you have a thought and it brings feeling, the same thing applies. You just need to leave it alone. If you have a negative intrusive thought and it doesn't bring any sort of anxiety, that's great, but the same thing still applies. You just need to leave it alone. In either circumstance, whether it brings a lot of anxiety with it or whether it brings no anxiety with it and it's more of just annoying than anything else, it doesn't matter either way. Your go-to should be just leave it alone. Now, I promise you, it might go out kicking and screaming, and it might take a minute. It might take a while. But the more you practice just leaving it alone, it will go out, okay? It will go out. Picture this. You've got this small fire that starts to burn when you have these negative intrusive thoughts and these feelings, okay? And anytime you get involved in any way, all you're doing is pouring gas on that fire, making it bigger and bigger, increasing your suffering, increasing the amount of time that these feelings and thoughts stick around for. All right, but if you have just this little fire that you're aware of and you just leave it alone, it will eventually burn itself out. Now, burning itself out sometimes takes time for a fire to burn itself out, right? And that's fine. That's normal. But the point is, you're no longer fueling the fire. So you just have to leave it alone. And a lot of people try to overcomplicate that. I feel like anxious people are overthinkers, and they try to overcomplicate it, maybe not on purpose, but that's just who they are as a person. They believe that this is too simple of an approach for them. There's no way that this amount of great suffering could be, taken care of by the simple mantra of just leave it alone. There's got to be something more than this. There's got to be something I'm missing, right? I'm sure all of you have had these thoughts in the past. I promise you, there's nothing you're missing. There's nothing you haven't heard yet. There's not a magical phrase that you're waiting to hear in order to recover. It really is as simple as just leave it alone. And that's a very simple and straightforward approach, but I know that's easier said than done. But my point is that is really all it comes down to. And overcomplicating this is only going to make it worse for you. It's only going to add to your suffering. Okay, you're trying to figure out unnecessary stuff. You're trying to argue with this thing. You're trying to convince yourself that there must be something more. And I'm here to tell you, that's part of the trick. That's part of the trick of anxiety. There is nothing more. When we say just leave it alone, just leave the thoughts and feelings alone, that is really all you have to do to heal. That's it. That's it. I know I do a lot of streams and a lot of videos because I like to elaborate, but really at the end of the day, you can boil this thing down to something as simple as just leave it alone. And this is a skill you need to practice. Like I said, I know it's easier said than done because you're in a very bad habit of getting involved. And as we all know, bad habits are not the easiest thing in the world to break, but you can break it. You can eventually get the hang of this. You got to just continue to try. Practice, as Dr. Claire Weeks says. But let's keep it as simple as possible moving forward. When we break this all down and we boil every stream and video I've ever done down to its bare bones, what we would get is just leave it alone. What we would get is just leave it alone. I know it's very tempting and it feels maybe uncomfortable or a bit unnatural to do that in the moment because you feel like you must get involved in order to feel relief. That is a trick. That is a lie. When you get involved, you're taking what is a little fire and adding gas to it. If you want to prove to your brain that there is nothing wrong and that you don't need these protective thoughts and that you don't need this protective anxiety, then you have to stop getting involved. Every time you get involved, you tell the brain that there is some sort of danger or that there's something to be concerned about. And we know that there's not. So really, it is as simple as just leave it alone, but you have to start practicing that. You have to actually do it. And you may have to remind yourself quite a bit at the beginning to just leave it alone. And that's fine. If you have to remind yourself, that's fine. But at the end of the day, my main point here, guys, is that overcomplication is causing you to suffer. And if we boil it down to its bare bones, it really is as simple as just leave it alone. So if you're the kind of person who likes things very simple and straightforward like I do, take that from this stream, make that your new recovery mantra, just leave it alone. Anytime those thoughts knock or anytime those feelings come, if you want to remind yourself of just leave it alone, and you want to practice that day in and day out, you will make progress, you will grow, you will heal, you will recover. Alright, so that was the point of today's stream. A little bit of low energy today, man, because my body is still like, it's still struggling a little bit. I'm trying to get, my pit back in my steps, so. But still, I think we got the point of the stream nailed down pretty solid today. So that's the point of today's stream. Just leave it alone. Your new recovery mantra. Let's read some comments. How is everybody doing today? 105 in there. Miserable, fast-paced work, but it pays good. It pays good. Okay. Like the latest thought was, how did the remote control get placed where it was when I saw it? The mind's weird. Okay, the mind is weird. Tries to play all sorts of tricks on you. And again, I'm glad you're bringing up, you have like a miserable job, or, you have a life circumstance that's not exactly ideal. And, let's put it like this. It doesn't matter if you have a difficult life circumstance. It doesn't matter if you're going through something difficult that's actually happening, that's not just a anxious thought. The just leave it alone mantra, when we're talking about negative intrusive thoughts, even if these negative intrusive thoughts are aimed at something that's actually happening, is still something you should live by, because you're going to suffer unnecessarily, regardless of whether you're dealing with a real life situation or not, if you're not following the two main keys, if you're not using the just leave it alone, right? You're just going to add unnecessary suffering to the equation. It doesn't matter if you're dealing with a total mental fiction or if you're going through something difficult in your real life. This is still something you should live by, right? Regardless. Yeah, easier said than done because you're breaking a bad habit, right? And that's why I say easier said than done, because bad habits are not always the easiest thing in the world to rid yourself of, but it's very possible. Just takes a little bit of dedication. You got to get started. Tonight at work, I'm going to be like, just leave it alone all night. Yeah, exactly. Because I want to stress that point, and I want to make sure that's known. Even if you're dealing with a real difficult life situation, we're not talking about mental fiction anymore. Let's say you're actually dealing with something that is a real difficult situation, something that is really happening. It's still going to cause so much unnecessary suffering if you're in resistance to that. If you can't change it, you have to accept it, right? And you'll see that 90% of your suffering comes from your mental, it comes from your mind, it comes from the thoughts that you're entertaining. They knock and then you open the door and start entertaining them. That's where most of your suffering is coming from. Not so much the difficult life situation, but the mind game, all right? The mind game is causing your suffering, not so much the difficult life situation. So that's why we say, whether it's a real difficult life situation or a mental fiction, just leave it alone is the route that you need to go, because you're causing so much unnecessary suffering with your resistance, whether that be a mental fiction or a real life difficulty. You are causing so much of your suffering mentally, right? This is a stream very much needed right now. I'm glad, man. This is a good stream. I like to keep it as simple and straightforward as possible. I'm gonna smoke with you. Hey, like I always say, if you don't smoke, don't start. But if you do smoke, smoke one with me. Why not? Wonder Bro, thinking back to your recovery, when you start leaving thoughts alone, did it help to get a bit busy, like distract and not just sit there? So when we say just to continue on with your life, that's kind of what we're getting at there. You want to show your brain that there is no real danger, right? And it also helps to get involved in life, because you're not so tempted to get involved with the mind if you're getting on with your life, because your mind is focused in the moment, right? Which you can be focused in the moment whether you're busy or not. But when you're first starting out, it does help to get back involved in life for several reasons. One being that it shows your brain there's no need for the anxiety, you're not behaving fearfully. And another being that when you're busy doing stuff in the moment, it's a little less tempting to get involved with those thoughts, and that's why we say that. But either way, whether you are busy or you're not a busy person and there's nothing that you can fill those gaps with, just leave it alone needs to be your mantra, right? Where's the link to donate? I might as well share some of the money from that hill. You don't have to, man. You worked hard for your cash. You do not have to donate. If you would like to, just close the live chat. You'll see the link there. It says donate in the description. It's the first link. But do not feel obligated. Thank you so much for helping us. It's my pleasure. I've been there. I've suffered with it. I know that it sucks, for lack of better words. So if I can help somebody else feel better, then it's worth it. It's worth it. That is a very, very simple mantra, man. And it's a very, very beneficial mantra. But actually using and dedicating to it is what's going to make all the difference, right? It's very simple in nature. It's very straightforward when I put it that way. But actually using it and not giving into that bad habit of getting involved takes a little bit more practice and dedication. And that's okay. It takes time, and that's fine. Yo, get some Pedialyte. That shit will help your stomach, brother. My stomach's feeling better. Like, I'm feeling better overall. I'm just a little... I slept so long that I'm still in, like, that zombie phase. You know what I mean? accidentally put myself in a rabbit hole, but being strong and confident to leave the thoughts alone. You got this, man. It just takes dedication. Yeah, sometimes symptoms lead to other symptoms. You know, sometimes it's a bit of a rabbit hole of symptoms. You know, they can lead to one another. That's fine. Still need to just leave it all alone. Fear of going crazy was definitely the worst one for me to stop reacting to as well. Yeah, some things are a little bit more difficult to leave alone than others, but at the end of the day, that's still what we need to practice. Yeah, oversleeping will do that, definitely. Definitely. I slept, God, a long time. Wonder Bro super chat would be easy for me to donate. I need to enable the super chat. I have Venmo and Cash App. I do have Cash App now. I do. I forgot to mention that. I have Cash App. I've never really used it, but I've got it. I've got it. My thing is CS933 is my Cash App if you'd like to donate that way. I need to like start putting that in the description or whatever. I've just never used it before, so I'm unsure about it, but that's my Cash App. If you're truly unhappy where you work, then you should work hard to find a job you somewhat enjoy, but I don't believe in leaving a job because you are anxious. I get what you're saying, right? It's like if we can change things up. If we can change things up, right? And we can make our lives better by taking charge and actually making a change. That's fine. If you can change something to make your life better, go for it. But if you can't change something, resistance will always be futile. If you can't change something, resistance will always be futile, and you need to see that you're creating your own suffering, right? Did you experience weirdly horrible dreams when sensitized? Yes, when I was sleeping. I didn't sleep a whole lot when I was severely sensitized. Lack of sleep was like a big one for me. So, but when I did sleep, very vivid, strange dreams were a very common occurrence, and I believe that's a very common occurrence for most sensitized people. Julie, yes, I did get that. I'm really, really sorry. I seen that yesterday when we were streaming. I seen you send a donation, and then I ended the stream, but I didn't see the donation till after I had already ended the stream. So I apologize for that, but I did get that. Thank you so much for that. Truly, thank you so much. I hated that because I noticed it too late, and I had already ended the stream. I was like, damn, I didn't get to thank her for that, but I did get that. Thank you so much. What's up, Brady? It's been a while, dude. How you doing? D Black. I have severe anxiety since 2010. Thoughts about this condition? I'm not very familiar with that condition, so I can't give you too much of an insight on that because I've never heard of that before. However, like I've been saying, whether you're dealing with a difficult life situation or it's total mental fiction, doesn't matter. The two main keys: acceptance, just leave it alone. This is the way we want to go, whether we're dealing with a mental fiction or not, something that's real. Gamo, $10. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Can we show some love in the chat? Thank you for that $10 donation. That helps me out a ton. Thank you. Very generous of you. I appreciate that. So much. Stream MVP. Your name will be in the tip ticker. Thank you so much for that. Guys, if you're enjoying the stream, make sure you hit that like button. It helps us grow. It helps other people find the channel that might need to hear what we're talking about here, right? So, sure you hit that like button. Thank you so much for that $10 donation. Thank you. That's for you. Thank you so much. Did you beat yourself up a lot for setbacks? I did at first, and then I realized that was so unnecessary. Right? Is it Chris Wonderbro? Yes, D-Block. Yep. That is me. That's okay, just making sure. Love you lots. I appreciate that. So much love right back at you. I seen it late, and I was like, damn, I wish I could have thinged her on stream. But here we are today. Thank you so much for that. I did get that donation yesterday. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, D-Block, that is me. I'm getting a call, so hold on like 2 seconds. 2 seconds, chat. Sorry about that, chat. That phone call took a little bit longer than I thought it would, but we're good. We're good. Also, D-Block, I got your $10 donation. Thank you so much. Truly appreciate that. Let's add that to the tip goal. Thank you so much, D-Block, for that $10 dono, dude. I truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. Truly appreciate it. Sorry that phone call took me a little bit longer than I thought it would. But thank you so much, guys. I truly appreciate that. That's everybody, right? We're good? My mantra in the immortal words of the Beatles, let it be. Yes, yes, that is a beautiful mantra, and it's one that if we lived by it, we would heal our anxiety, right? We would heal our sensitized nerves. Let me try to catch up with the chat here. I know I was gone for a second. It's okay to have setbacks. Yes, it is. Setbacks are just opportunities to use what I've learned. Yes, and let's also clarify. All right, let's clarify something. Wait, I think we got a donation that I missed. Hold on. Did I miss one? I think we got a. So confused. No, we didn't miss any, right? No, we're good. I think we're good. Let's also clarify, though, something real quick. A setback, okay, doesn't necessarily mean it's a setback. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a setback. You could be doing really well and in 2 weeks have some anxiety symptoms or a negative intrusive thought. Doesn't mean you're going backwards. It simply means that you need to continue retraining, right? Doesn't necessarily mean that you've done anything wrong. I just want to clarify that. Just want to clarify that. Gotta go. See you later, brothers. Is this stream going to be uploaded? Yes. Yes, the stream will be uploaded for those of you who are joining us late. Wonder Bro, as far as physical symptoms go, how can you deal with the symptoms without freaking out about them like the faint feeling? Just leave it alone. So when you freak out, that means you're adding second fear. When you're adding second fear, that means you're getting involved and you're mentally starting to go out on this tirade, right? So you need to live by that mantra, just leave it alone. Easier said than done, but this is how we have to go about this. Hey, Wonder Bro, what are your thoughts on ACT? I'm not too familiar with it. I believe it's along the same lines of acceptance, right? Hey, Wonder Bro, is danger real from anxiety? There's a huge difference between a real danger, and if there's a real danger, believe me, you're going to be too busy acting and taking care of that danger to be stressed, worried, or fearful, right? You're going to be totally focused on taking care of the danger. So there's a huge difference between danger and fear, right? Alright, so I'm trying to think here. They do, Migs. They do, because you start to heal your nerves. And when you start to heal your nerves by just leaving it alone, the symptoms fade as a result, and so do the negative intrusive thoughts. But the more you show them importance by getting involved, the more you stay in this hamster wheel, right? Hey, we love having you here, Elliot, man. If you want to join us on Discord, guys, we got a Discord. Let me grab that link real quick. Discord link for anybody who wants to join us. The Discord chat's really, really cool. Everybody over there is totally supportive. Feel free to join us. It's completely free. You just got to click that link. As soon as I stopped caring so much, a lot of things changed. Exactly. Exactly, because you're dropping that second fear. What's up, Lucy? How you doing? Might as well do nothing at all, and then it goes away by itself. Just don't try. Exactly, which is the point. Just leave it alone, because that involvement's what's causing that suffering. Anytime you get involved, you're telling your brain that there's a real danger. Anytime you get involved, you're telling your brain that there's something to be alarmed about. And we know that's just not true, right? That's just not true. But when we get involved, that's what we're telling our brain. How you doing, Lucy? Thank you again so much. Let's see, Camo. I think I'm saying that right. Camo. Thank you so much, Camo D Block, for your donations. Truly appreciated. Thank you, guys. If you're enjoying the stream, make sure you hit that like button. I know my energy's a little low today because I'm recovering from that stomach bug. I'm not as high energy as I usually am. You'll have to forgive me. I'm in the recovery process. All right. But we're trying. We're trying. I'm grilling some burgers. That sounds great, man. Hello, my friend. Hello, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Thanks for the invite. I have to go now. Well, thanks for joining us, Blake. I truly appreciate it, man. Make sure you hit that like button, guys. Make sure you hit that like button. Let's see if we can get those likes up. Really helps get the stream out there. It's good to see all these regulars here, man. See ya. Thanks for the awesome chat, Wonder Bro. Have a good one, Blake, man. Appreciate you stopping by. I know something as simple as liking the stream doesn't seem that valuable, but it really does help get the stream out there. I know most people just forget, and I forget to even remind people, but We are so close to 9K. So close to 9K subs. What are we even at? I'm not sure. Let's see. I know we're right around the corner, man. We are right around the corner from that 9K. 8,724 subs. We are so close. So close. Oh, I can taste it. Yeah, I mean, vitamin deficiency can sometimes cause a little bit of anxiety or depression. You know, some symptoms that mimic anxiety can cause a bit of depression. But understand this. Understand this. I don't want anyone to start freaking out thinking, oh God, I better make sure I get all of my vitamins just right, you know, or else I'm going to be like this forever. Understand this. Although vitamin deficiency can cause some sort of mimicking symptoms of anxiety or hints of depression, if you are sensitized, you only get to the sensitized boat through second fear. That is the only way you're going to break your nerves down that badly, that you become sensitized. It's not going to be due to a vitamin deficiency. Although I completely agree with you, Julie. I just don't want anyone to think, oh God, I'm sensitized and I'm to this point because I have a vitamin deficiency. No. You won't get that low on the totem pole. You won't fall into a full-blown state of sensitization because you have some vitamin deficiencies. All right? Understand that. I just don't want anyone to freak out because I know how the anxious mind works, right? I don't want anyone to freak out thinking that. When your dad was into bringing you breakfast, he said, I'm very proud of you because it broke my heart. He loved you. He did. He did. I love my old man. I love my old man. Rest in peace, Dad. Shout out, Wonder Dad. Greatest dad, man. Greatest dad in the world. It's really cool that you found that. Oh, you're good, Julie. I just know how the anxious mind works, so I wanted to clarify that. I didn't want anyone out there to take your comment the wrong way and think, oh God, maybe I have a vitamin deficiency and that's why I'm this way. And then, you know, one thought leads to another. I know how the anxious mind works, so I just wanted to clarify that for you. I know that's not what you meant. I just wanted to be super clear on that. A vitamin deficiency can cause mimicking symptoms of anxiety or hints of depression, but nothing like sensitized nerves. Yeah, they're not even in the same ball field. I feel it's impossible to recover from OCD. It will be without outlook. It 110% will be impossible to recover from OCD with that outlook. But understand this. That is just another thought that you just need to leave alone. So this is a perfect example. Let's say I have the thought, oh my God, I feel like it's impossible to recover from this OCD. And then I log in, and then I get invested with that thought. I open the door. Instead of just leaving that thought alone, oh my God, it feels impossible to recover from OCD, I get involved with it, and I start to fight with it and argue with it, and now I'm spiraling out of control, and now I'm feeling a little bit helpless. I'm feeling like I'm in a state of despair. Do you see how opening the door to these intrusive negative thoughts and unhelpful suggestions from the mind just lead to more negative intrusive thoughts, and before you know it, you've spiraled completely out of control, and now you feel helpless, and now you feel desperate, and now it does feel impossible? It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy here. So understand this. If you just leave it alone, especially OCD, okay, those negative intrusive thoughts that demand your involvement, if you just live by the mantra, just leave it alone, and let those thoughts be there and let them bring whatever feelings they want to bring while you do nothing with it, then you starve the quote-unquote OCD, the quote-unquote negative intrusive thoughts, of the fuel they need to thrive. If you starve the thoughts of the fuel they need to survive, which is your attention, which is your involvement, then they will go out. They may go out kicking and screaming, and they may take some time, but they will go out. They cannot survive. 110%, they cannot survive without your involvement. And that's why we say your new recovery mantra should be, just leave it alone. Doesn't matter what the context of the thought is. Forget that being important, because that's not going to be important. It's never going to be important what the context is. If it's a negative intrusive thought, it's a negative intrusive thought. Your new mantra needs to be just leave it alone, as far as the thoughts go and as far as the feelings they bring go. If you stop getting involved, you will heal, you will recover. It is not impossible. It is very much possible. You just have to start today. You just have to get going today. And if you fall, you got to get back up, and you got to get back on board with practicing your new recovery mantra. Just leave it alone. Easier said than done, I know, but you've got plenty of time. You got plenty of time to practice. You got plenty of time to dedicate to it. You can recover. Absolutely. 110%. I don't want anyone thinking that this is somehow impossible or that it can't be done. Okay? Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. It's acceptance. It's acceptance. And we're starting to see this become more and more popular in today's world. Acceptance and, leaving the thoughts alone instead of arguing with them was somewhat of a new concept until recently. And now we're starting to see just how beneficial it is. And you're starting to see more and more therapies based around the act of acceptance, because we're starting to wake up. The medical world is starting to wake up. Mental health is starting to wake up to just how valuable it is to leave these thoughts alone. We're starting to realize this, and it's starting to become more accepted, and it's starting to become more popular. And you see that with things like, ACT and things like DARE and, all these other, I don't want to say programs, but you're starting to see it. My main point is you're starting to see acceptance and just how valuable leaving these thoughts alone is. You're starting to see it become more and more popular, and I love that. I love that, because when Dr. Claire Weeks first came out with the whole acceptance idea, it was kind of shunned. People were like, I mean, she went on to do great things, and a lot of people eventually caught on and healed and recovered thanks to her works. But when it first came out, people were kind of skeptical. Okay, but now we're starting to see in today's society more and more of this acceptance thing, right? This acceptance thing is starting to catch on, and it's becoming more and more popular, and that's so awesome. It's so great to see. I love it. I love it. People are starting to really wake up. For the longest time, I mean, it was very traditional for people to recommend that you argue with your thoughts. And we're finally starting to see how that's just setting you back. We're finally starting to see how that's just keeping you stuck in a hamster wheel. We're finally starting to see how coping methods and arguing with your thoughts are short-term relief over long-term healing. We're finally starting to wake up to that truth, and you're starting to see it become more and more popular. And I love that. It's a breakthrough. It really is a breakthrough. Now that the medical or the mental health community is starting to wake up to the fact that the more you argue with your thoughts, the more you suffer. The more they tend to stick around. The stickier they become. It's great to see that the mental health community is waking up to the fact that getting involved with the feelings and the thoughts instead of just leaving it alone is causing people to stay sick. And it's so awesome that we're starting to realize that. And I'm very, very glad about that. It's funny because there's still some people that'll come into the stream, right? And they've got like these very traditional therapists that'll tell them to use coping methods and argue with their thoughts, which we know is so wrong. But I'm starting to see more and more, like 90% of the people that come in here who see a therapist are starting to come in here and tell me things like, my therapist agrees completely with everything that you say. Acceptance is the way to go. I need to stop arguing with these thoughts. I need to just let them be. So you still have those few people out there who are seeing therapists that are very old school and still using coping methods and still using arguing and thought replacement, right? But you're starting to see more and more people who are going to therapists that are using acceptance-based therapies, and it's so cool to see. I love it. I love that it's becoming the universal treatment for anxiety now. That's great. It's awesome. Yeah, exactly, Migs. Exactly. If you're not stuck, this is not something that's going to last forever. This is a very temporary thing. You're on a journey, all right? I'm getting a bit of dry mouth over here. I need something to drink. I'll be right back, chap. There we go. That's better. That is better. I think the problem is a lot of people just forget. They forget to not follow their thoughts. Like in that moment, it's so natural to want to log right in and to fight with those thoughts that they just forget that they need to leave it alone. And that's why we've said in the past, so important that you remind yourself to just leave it alone. And if you have to remind yourself multiple times a day, I mean, especially at first, that's completely normal. Completely normal. It's gaining popularity for sure, but I see so many people still believing OCD, anxiety are permanent mental illnesses. It's honestly a very big debate in the mental health community lately. It is, and it's unfortunate to see people who are stuck in that old way of believing that they're like this forever. It's so unfortunate to see these poor people who actually believe that they have no hope and that they're going to be like this forever. That's so sad and unfortunate when it's just not true. It's just not true. I've watched myself personally go from peeing in bottles to living a normal life again. I've watched so many people here on the channel come back and report to me after using the advice that, hey, I'm finally back to being my old self again and it feels so good. I've seen it happen. I mean, I've even got a whole video dedicated to just recovery success comments from people who once thought that they couldn't recover. I've just seen it happen so many times, not only with myself, but with everybody here on the channel, that I know for a fact that you can go from the lowest of the low to living a normal life again. I know it for a fact. I've seen it happen way too many times. And it's a shame. It's a real shame that you got people that are so stuck in their ways that they believe that they're going to be like this forever. And if that's what they want to believe, more power to them, I guess. I'm going to focus on the ones who know that they can recover, who know that this is a temporary thing, who know that you can retrain your brain. I don't know. I really don't even know how this is a debate. I don't know why it's a debate. I mean, we've proven time and time again, not just here on the channel, but as a whole, that a brain can be retrained, that you can rewire your brain, that anxiety and depression is not a life sentence. We've proven this time and time again. Like I said, not just here on the channel, but in general, in the mental health community. I mean, We've proven that this is not a life sentence and that you can retrain a brain. So I'm not sure why it's even a debate. I'm not sure why it's even a debate. I'm not sure why people want to believe that they're going to be like this forever. I'm not sure why this is something we even have to talk about. And it's very unfortunate to see. It's very unfortunate to see. I don't know why people believe that. That's awesome. Thank you for that. Yeah, I mean, I've had people come in here and tell me that even their therapists tell them that, oh, you're gonna be like this forever. And it just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's not even debatable, the fact that if you have sensitized nerves, you can desensitize your nerves. That's just a very straightforward fact. Why is that even debatable? I don't understand. I don't understand that. If you can sensitize your nerves, you can desensitize your nerves. That's as simple as 1 + 1 = 2. So I'm not sure. There must be some sort of confusion somewhere. When people tell you that you can't recover from anxiety, they must be talking about just the normal human emotion of anxiety, which we all experience from time to time. It's not a problem. They must not be referring to sensitized nerves, because the fact that you can sensitize your nerves means that you can desensitize your nerves. Like I said, this is as simple as 1 + 1 = 2. So I'm not sure why this is even up for debate. There must be some confusion somewhere with the people that truly believe they can't recover. I don't understand it. And it's very unfortunate for them. It's very unfortunate for them that they're stuck in such a self-defeating misconception and totally untrue belief. It's very unfortunate for them. I'm 1,000 times better than I was a couple months ago by using the 2 main keys. A bit out of the dark yet, but night and day difference. Exactly. I just couldn't do it, but I know for a fact that we can recover. You absolutely can recover. Like I said, there must just be some sort of confusion. They must be referring to just the basic human emotion of anxiety. Yes, you can't eliminate that. We all feel that from time to time. We all feel that from time to time. That's a very normal, not a problem, human thing to experience. But to tell someone who's sensitized that they can't desensitize is just ridiculous and absurd. Because that's like telling someone who catches a cold that they can't ever get rid of the cold. It makes no sense. Being able to heal your nerves is as simple as 1 + 1 = 2. I'll say it again. I don't know why that's up for debate. Hey, Wonder Bro, good evening. Good evening, Larry. How you doing? They don't know sensitization even exists. That's a good point, Lucy. That is a very, very good point. A lot of times people don't even know that there's such a thing as sensitization. They believe that they've just become struck by this outside monster called anxiety, and this monster is just going to continue to tear away at them, and there's nothing they can do about it. That is a very good point. I would say that a lot of people don't even know sensitization is a thing, that you can break your nerves down to a point of being fragile. So if you don't even know that, then I can understand where you would come from when you say you can't heal. But if you understand that sensitization is like catching a cold, that it is something that happens that can be healed, like if you have a cold, eventually you can get rid of that cold. Same thing with sensitization. So if you don't even know that sensitization exists, then I guess I can kind of see why you would say, oh, I'm screwed, there's nothing I can do. So good point. It's a good point, Lucy. Good point. Feeling imbalanced is very, very common with anxiety. Yeah, the word sensitization or sensitized doesn't compute with a lot of others. Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about that. If you don't even know that there's such a thing as sensitization, then I guess you might hold the untrue belief that there's no help or no hope. But if you go to someone who knows what they're talking about, because I don't want to completely bash therapy or therapists, there's a lot of good ones out there. If you go to someone who knows what they're talking about, we've had a lot of people come into the stream who say, I told my therapist about everything you teach, and they could agree 110%. That's awesome. So there's a lot of good therapists out there, and there's a lot of therapists out there who know about sensitization and know that you can heal. Because there's a lot of people that come into the stream and tell me about how they went and told their therapist about what I teach, and their therapist agrees with it completely. So I don't want to bash therapy as a whole, but there is a handful of therapists out there who, how do I put this, don't know what the fuck they're doing. Sorry, but it's true. But at the same time, there's a lot of good therapists out there who know exactly what they're doing. Who know exactly what they're doing. So I'm not going to bash therapy as a whole. And if you're seeing a therapist, you should absolutely continue to see your therapist. And if you're seeing a doctor, you should absolutely continue seeing your doctor. This is just my personal opinion. You make your own choices. And I would never recommend that someone stop seeing their therapist or doctor. All I'm saying is, in my personal opinion, although there is a lot of good therapists out there who know acceptance, who know about sensitized nerves, at the same time, there is some therapists out there who don't know what the fuck they're doing. And that's just, in my opinion, I mean, that's just how I see it. I mean, but that's with anything, right? That's with anything, not just with therapy or therapists. I mean, that's with anything. You find any profession out there, and there's going to be people that are involved in the profession that are not as sharp or not as skilled as other people, right? I mean, that's with everything. That's life. Gotta run, Wonder Bro. Thanks again, as usual, for all that you do for us. From the bottom of my heart, thank you, and I love you. I love you too, man. Thank you for stopping by. I truly appreciate it, dude. Your monster video the other day helped me a lot with my current bout of sensitization. Thank you. Hey, I appreciate that, David. I'm glad you're finding some relief in the videos, man. Keep practicing. Still, I can't stop being in second fear. Hey, try this. Try this. From this moment on, when you start to get involved with thoughts, or you start to have negative intrusive thoughts, or you start to have those feelings of anxiety bubble up, instead of trying to do all this stuff that you're trying to do, which is a lot, let's keep it simple and just live by your new mantra of just leave it alone. And if you have to remind yourself of that 1,000 times a day, that's fine. But let's keep it very simple. And moving forward, let's live by just those 4 simple words. Just leave it alone. Let's do that. Let's keep it as simple as possible, and let's see how far we get. I guarantee that although at first it's going to be uncomfortable, you will start to make progress. Now, when we say just leave it alone, that doesn't mean that the negative intrusive thought is going to instantly go away. That doesn't mean that the feelings they bring are instantly just going to disappear into thin air. They're going to be there, but the thing is, you're no longer adding involvement, and over time, this is what heals. So your new recovery mantra, the point of today's stream, just leave it alone. Carrie, hello, how are you doing, beautiful? Welcome to the stream, hope you're having a good one. We're on a bit of a rant today, but I feel like it's been a very good stream. I do get a little bit heated when we start to talk about people or therapists that believe you can't recover. That subject heats me up a little bit. It rubs me the wrong way a little bit because it's just so untrue. And to tell somebody who's suffering that they can't recover is just a load of bullshit, to be quite frank and honest. It's just a load of bullshit. But if you go to a therapist who actually knows what the fuck they're doing, they'll be the first to tell you that yes, you can desensitize, yes, you can make changes to your brain, yes, you can experience relief. But it won't leave me alone. Yes, exactly, and it's not going to. It's not going to at first. But see, here's the problem. You say it won't leave me alone, and that's because you continue to get involved. So if you stick to the mantra, just leave it alone, all right, it'll eventually leave you alone. But that's not going to happen overnight. But the thing is, the less you get involved, the more you start to heal. And again, this is not something that happens overnight. Once you start to pull back that gas, because right now what you're doing is you're pouring gas on the fire every time you get involved with these thoughts. You are pouring gas on the fire. It takes time for a fire to burn out, right? And right now you have this fire built extremely high. You have poured gallons and gallons of gas on this fire to this day. So this fire is burning very bright and it's burning very, very high. So when you finally pull back that gas and you just start to leave it alone and you live by the new mantra, just leave it alone, when those thoughts come and those feelings come, and you start to take a step back from it, it's going to take a minute. It's going to take a minute for this fire to burn down and eventually burn out. And that takes time because you have stoked this fire, right? So it takes time, even after you stop pouring the gas, for this fire to burn itself out. And that's fine. But if you live by this mantra, and I mean truly live by it, and stop doing anything else and everything else, eventually you have stopped pouring the gas and this fire will burn itself out. But that does take time. That does take time. So we see a lot of people trying to use acceptance like a pill. Okay, here's that negative intrusive thoughts. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Damn it, it's not going away yet. Well, it's time to start fighting with it. Time to get involved with it. And then, just like that, you've lost. So, when we say just leave it alone, that means even if the thought continues to be there for a while, even if the feelings continue to be there for a while, you're still reminding yourself, just leave it alone, and over time that fire will burn out. That doesn't mean you're just going to say, okay, just leave it alone, and then when it doesn't go away, you get back involved. It'll never work that way. But if you live by just leave it alone, eventually it will burn itself out. I know full recovery is possible thanks to you. My life has changed, which is why I get so annoyed by people who say otherwise. As another YouTuber who recovered from OCD and teaches people how. I've seen some of her videos. She's actually pretty good. But yeah, it's absolutely 110% possible to recover from anxiety-related quote-unquote disorders. You know as well as I do, when you go into panic, you are not in a rational mindset. Exactly. But unfortunately, the only thing that you have to take forward is to just leave it alone. I mean, I know that when you're in a panic, you're not in a rational mindset. I know that your mind's running 100 miles per hour. But at the same time, it is the bad habit of getting involved that is keeping you where you are. So yes, the facts are as they are. The cards are on the table. Nobody can deny the facts that you're not in a rational mindset when you're in a state of panic. But that doesn't mean we can just toss away what needs to be done, right? We know that the anxiety feelings are uncomfortable. We know that the thoughts seem to hit you left and right. We know all this stuff, and we accept all this stuff. But that doesn't mean we just take what works and say, well, because I'm uncomfortable, I'm not going to use what works. So even though you're not in a rational mindset, even though these feelings come on quite strong, you still have to leave it alone. And when you get involved, you're causing yourself to stay stuck in this hamster wheel. Every time you reach in and fight with these negative thoughts, you're giving fuel to the fire. Instead of just letting these thoughts be there if they want to be there, and letting these feelings be there when they want to be there, and reminding yourself, just leave it alone, you have to live by that. That's what needs to be done. We know that it's uncomfortable. We know that it's not fun. Believe me, was once there. I truly, truly understand how it feels. We know all of these facts to be true. But at the same time, we still have to stick with what works. We have to stick with what we know is going to heal us in the end. Right? And we have to dedicate to that. We can't dedicate to that for a day, a week, and then once relief doesn't come swiftly, we fall back into the same bad habits and continue to grow this fire. Right? So despite the fact that it's uncomfortable, despite the fact that all these symptoms come and all these thoughts come, we still need to stick with what we know is true, with what we know will heal, right? Believe me, I've been there. I know it's not fun. I know it's not fun. And you will get there too. You will get there too, depending on how dedicated you are. You will get there. It's to let those feelings be there, to let those thoughts be there without getting involved. Because every time you get involved, you show the brain that there's some sort of danger when there isn't. And that's why it continues to grow like this, right? I know it's not comfortable. I know it's not fun. I know it sucks. I'm not denying any of that. But despite all of that, we have to stick with what works. Is journaling good? I mean, in a sense, as long as you're not journaling about how bad you feel, right? Hi, Wonder Bro, and everyone. What's up, Mia? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good day. So start today. Start today. Don't let your mind give you any reason or try to come up with any reason as to why you're not going to get started with your new mantra of just leave it alone. And believe me, your mind will try to give you 1,000 reasons as to why you can't get started, or as to why you shouldn't get started. But that's just keeping you stuck. That's just keeping you stuck. Trust me, I've felt like that many, many times before. many, many times before. I was ready for the straitjacket, right? That day never came, but I was ready for it. I was convinced that that's where I was going to end up. But the sooner you get started, and believe me, you're no different than anybody else. When we're talking anxiety and we're talking anxiety symptoms, I know exactly how the mind works. I know exactly how the body works. I know how miserable it can be. So you're no different than anyone else. You can recover. You can heal. But you have to start leaving it alone. And that means every little thought, even the ones that feel important, that are just leading to obsession, even the ones that feel so important, and it feels so natural to get involved, you have to start reminding yourself, just leave it alone. Even if you have to do that 1,000 times a day. When those thoughts come and they bring feelings with them, you have to simply remind yourself, just leave it alone. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can't get involved. It's just leave it alone, and you have to live by that, and you'll experience relief sooner rather than later. It'll take some time for your fire to burn out, but you will experience relief. And believe me when I say, I know how uncomfortable it can be, but this is the way to go. This is the way to go, but you have to get started. That's the thing. And your mind will convince you, and it'll give you hundreds of reasons, thousands of reasons as to why you can't get started or shouldn't get started. But that is just another trap. You have to get started, okay? Just leave it alone. Believe me. And you might have to do that 1,000 times a day. But it will get better, right? It will get better. Trust me, I had myself completely 110% convinced that I couldn't recover, and that this was the end of the road for me, right? And that I was going to end up in the psych ward. I understand completely where you're coming from. I was peeing in 2-liter bottles, completely disgusting, okay, from head to toe, because I quit showering, I quit eating, I quit drinking. I just laid in bed and started to wither away. And I went from that to who I am today with just leave it alone. So when I say you're not a special case, I'm not saying that you're not suffering. I understand that you're suffering, and I feel for you deeply because I've been there, and I know it fucking sucks, okay? I know it fucking sucks. But if you get started with just leave it alone and make that your mantra, even if you have to use it 1,000 times a day, and just let those thoughts be there and just let those feelings be there without getting involved, you will eventually show your brain that there's no need for this. And that means even saying that to the small thoughts and the big thoughts, the thoughts that appear important, okay? Just leave it alone. I feel you, I've been there, and I'm telling you, the sooner you get started and dedicate to this, the sooner you can begin to experience relief, sooner rather than later, alright? And I believe in your ability to do so. Larry with the $50 donation. Larry, thank you so much. Thank you, Wonder Bro, for all you do for us. I appreciate that, dude. That helps me out a ton. Stream MVP, your name will be back into the tip ticker. Thank you so much, Larry. Can we show some love to him in the stream, please? Please, please, please? In the chat. Can we, like, spam some emojis here? Larry, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that, dude. That is a big donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see, let's get this updated. Wow, we have smashed the tip goal today. Thank you so much, guys. Shout out to you, Larry, Cam, and I think there was another one. Or no, that might have been it. I think that's everybody. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to the donators today. Appreciate you guys. I love you guys. You guys are the reason I'm able to do this and focus on this full time. So thank you so much for that. Pat yourselves on the back. Let's show them some love. Thank you for making it possible to do what I love to do. Thank you so, so much. That is a big donation. Thank you so much, Larry. Helps me out a ton. I have felt the same way. I considered going on disability. I've had thoughts about being in the psych ward. I mean, we've all been there, especially when you're in that low place of severely sensitized. I honestly thought I was going to end up in a straitjacket. Of course, that never happens because you never lose your ability to rationally control yourself, right? You don't actually lose your mind and go crazy. You might be filled with anxiety and fear, but you don't actually go over this tipping point of insanity that just doesn't exist. You can keep yourself stuck in a cycle of fear, sure. You can keep yourself stressed, sure. You can keep yourself anxious, sure. But there's no tipping point of insanity. Just you never hit that because it doesn't exist. Believe me, if it were possible, I would have I wouldn't have just fallen over the edge. If it were possible, I would have shot over the edge, right? If it were possible, but it's just not possible. So what's happening is you're keeping yourself stuck in a hamster wheel of fear. There's no tipping point. You're just going in a circle, right? And it's because you're getting involved with all these thoughts. You're telling your brain that there's a danger where there's not every time you get involved. And that's why we say your new recovery mantra should be just leave it alone. Leave those thoughts alone. If they want to be there, that's fine, but we're just leaving them alone. If the feelings want to be there, that's fine, but we're just leaving them alone. The more we get involved, the more we trick the brain into believing that there's a danger. So we just stay stuck in this hamster wheel. You are most welcome. Yeah, thank you again, Larry. Man, I appreciate that. That's huge. Thank you, dude. Truly, truly grateful for you guys. Thank you so much. I'm a little bit low energy today because I just slept like 24 hours with that stomach bug, man. Like, I probably slept more than 24 hours, honestly. So my body's still trying to get into the swing of things. So. But yeah, John, I mean, I've been there. I've been there, dude. I considered disability. I considered the psych ward. I considered all that. I mean, at the time, I didn't realize that it was because I was getting involved. That didn't make sense to me, and I didn't fully realize that, and that's why I continued to stay stuck in that hamster wheel. But once you realize that you just have to leave it all alone because your involvement is telling the brain that there's some sort of danger, then you start to get the hang of it, right? Focus on what's important, yeah. Focus on what's important. And as far as the thoughts and feelings go, you may have to remind yourself 1,000 times a day, 1,000,000 times a day at first. But remember, just leave it alone. It's so tempting to get involved. I know it is so tempting to get involved. But you have to, you have to just leave it alone. And you got this. You got this. I try to be as straightforward and as blunt as possible. And I do apologize, right? I do apologize if that comes off as rude. I'm not trying to be rude when I'm straight and blunt and straightforward. I'm not trying to be rude at all. I'm just trying to be straightforward because I know how people who are in that anxious state of mind overcomplicate things. And they overcomplicate things because they don't know any better, and then they suffer unnecessarily. I was once that person, and that's why I'd like to be straightforward. Because we don't get anywhere when we sugarcoat things. We really, really don't. And if I want to see people truly heal and live the life they deserve to live, then I need to be blunt. I need to be straightforward. And that's the way I like to, that's why I like to teach that way. If that comes off as rude, I apologize, but honestly, it's coming from a good place. I'm just trying to get people to listen so that they can heal, so that they can recover and live the life they deserve to live. I didn't catch this from the beginning. Will this be uploaded? Absolutely, 110%. Good stream. So if I come off as rude to any of your questions, understand I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to be blunt because anxious people tend to overcomplicate things and they tend to run around in circles unnecessarily. And I want to give it to you straight so that you have a better chance of understanding what I'm trying to say, and then you can go on and use it and heal instead of keeping yourself stuck in this hamster wheel. So I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just trying to be very blunt because I want to see you heal. I want to see you heal. Feeling unbalanced or the inability to balance yourself, dizziness, this is all very common with anxiety, Brady. All very, very common symptoms. Of course, if you're here on the channel, I'm assuming you've already been to a doctor and all that good stuff and have been cleared. If you're worried that there's some sort of medical emergency, go see a doctor. Get cleared by a doctor. Get told that you're suffering from anxiety and then come watch my videos. I'm assuming that's what people do when they're here on my streams, when they're hearing my videos, right? I go ahead and assume that you've already been to a doctor. And then I just give you my opinion from my personal experience. It's up to you if you want to take the advice. It's completely up to you. I'm just a dude who want to see people get over this thing, right? I'm just a dude who want to see people heal. It's up to you if you take my advice or not. But absolutely, go see a doctor if you haven't been cleared by a doctor. I mean, that's probably the good first step there. That's great. I'll catch up tomorrow night. All sweet dreams. Sweet dreams. Thank you for coming by the stream. Appreciate it. When you don't know getting involved is not good, it takes you by surprise and you just keep getting more involved. Exactly, and that's the cycle, right? Once you know not to get involved, it gets easier to get started. Exactly. When you don't think that your suffering is being caused by getting involved, which it is, because you're showing your brain that there's some sort of danger, you continue to get involved because you're continuing to spiral. You start to feel worse, so you get more involved, and that's the catch. So I'll come and live with you and you can supervise my recovery. You'll love that. Hey, well, my advice to you, all right, my advice to you moving forward is to remember to live by the mantra, just leave it alone. I know it's tempting, but when you have those thoughts, you might have to remind yourself 1,000 times a day, just leave it alone. I'm getting a call. 2 seconds, guys. My apologies. We've been streaming for almost an hour and a half, so people are like, "Are you done yet?" No, I'm not done yet. I'm streaming. I have an issue of trying to get too much reassurance on a daily basis about my anxiety. At first, it's very normal to want reassurance, right? But remember, just leave it alone. We're all moving to Wonder Bros. Sit with those rushes of anxiety. Trust me, it'll go away. As symptoms always go away. Yeah, I mean, if you sit with it and you don't get involved and you just leave it alone, especially the thoughts, the feelings will go away. The thoughts will go away. It may take some time. It doesn't mean that you're failing when you say just leave it alone and those feelings are still there, the thought is still there. You're actually succeeding when you say just leave it alone. The feelings going away instantly is not something that happens, but you're recovering the right way. You're recovering the right way. Thank you again, Larry. Camo. I feel like there's someone I'm missing. If I'm missing, I'm sorry. If I'm missing you, I'm sorry. But thank you again for our donations today. Hey, Wonder Bro, can you fix your thoughts and feelings? Just leave it alone. Leave those thoughts alone. Leave those feelings alone. If you stop getting involved, you will heal. To leave it alone means to stop adding second fear, and to stop adding second fear means that you're no longer getting involved. You're leaving it alone. And this is how you give your nerves a break. You give them the chance they need to heal. And as a result, these feelings and thoughts will eventually start to fade. I'm having a good day today. Thanks, Wonder Bro. No problem, dude. No problem. Happy to help. Happy to help. I love to see it. I'm feeling better today. I'm starting to recover from that stomach bug or whatever I had, so it feels good. It feels good. I might be low energy, but I don't feel like I'm dying anymore, so that is a step in the right direction. That is a step in the right direction. Let's get some music going. You guys want some music? Let's see. So many ads, man. It's really loud. Who else likes EDM, man? I love this. What's up, James? Welcome to the stream, dude. How you doing? We're just chilling, man. Just hanging out. We're about an hour and a half into the stream, so this is usually the point of the stream where it's like we start just chilling, just hanging out, talking about whatever. How you doing, man? Plus, I hope to stop obsessing over anxiety almost 24/7. That'll naturally fade too the more you just start to leave it alone. It's very normal to be really inner focused, especially when you first start your recovery. It's completely normal. Just remember to leave it alone. Your new recovery mantra, the point of today's stream, just to leave it alone. The more you get involved, the more you tell your brain that there's a danger. We know there's not a real danger, but in your involvement is keeping you stuck. Your involvement is keeping you stuck, man. And there's nothing different about you that says you can't recover. This is all more or less the same for everybody that's dealing with sensitization, right? But when you have those thoughts, man, about how you're feeling or about recovery, or you want to start to obsess, you have those negative intrusive thoughts, remind yourself, even if you have to 1,000 times a day, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. You're going to get there, bud. You're going to get there. I'm eating a gas station burrito. Pray it goes well. Oh, God. My stomach could not handle a gas station burrito right now. My stomach's still kind of sensitive from all that, so... Oh, God. A gas station burrito? Woo! I don't know if I could do it. Hello, been following you. First live stream. Thanks for all you do. JG, welcome to the stream, dude. I appreciate it, man. Hope you're doing good. Let's see if we can find music that's a bit more chill. What's a bit more chill? It's getting a little chilly in this room. Freezing. It's actually pretty good. I mean, I'm sure it's good, right? Like, I've ate gas station food plenty of times. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm sure it's good. My point was, I just don't know if my stomach could handle a burrito right now. Like, that sounds rough. I'm sure you get what I'm getting at there. I need some caffeine or something, man. I gotta get going. I don't want to push myself too hard. Like, I woke up today feeling better. I was like, I'm so far behind on shit. I need to get stuff done because I've just been sleeping so long. I got up. I automatically, like, started cleaning. My room was a fucking mess because when I get sick, I just don't care about my surroundings. I just throw shit wherever. So I got up, started cleaning immediately, broke out the vacuum, gave Nova a bath, just got caught up on everything, right? And I don't want to push myself too hard though, because I'm still trying to recover from this stomach bug or whatever. But I can't stand to be in dirty surroundings. Like, my environment, I like to keep it nice and clean and organized. So I couldn't stand to lay in this filthy room any longer. I just had to get going. But I've definitely used every bit of energy I had. I've depleted my battery here. You're supposed to be over there. There you go. My camera's at a weird angle. It needs to come down. It's a little bit too high. Maybe a little bit lower. That's better. That's much better. Can you rephrase the question, Brady? Seems like there's a lot of obsessive thought going on there, man. Are you just leaving it alone? Doesn't seem like you're just leaving it alone. I like to point this stuff out when I see it in chat. That way people become aware of their own bad habits, right? I'm happy to answer questions. I'm happy to answer questions because knowledge is power. But if I start to see a pattern, I like to call it out. It's not because I'm trying to throw you under the bus. I just want you to become aware of your own negative habits that are keeping you stuck. This Disturbed shirt. Again, I'm not even a fan of Disturbed. I think I was wearing a Kid Rock shirt the other day. Not a fan of Kid Rock. Not necessarily a fan of Disturbed either. I have so many shirts in my closet that I just have because they fit and they're comfortable, and I don't really care what they say. So again, another band that I'm not even a fan of really. How old are you, Wonder Bro? If you had to guess, let's get some guesses. Let's play the guessing game. How old does chat think I am? If you know the answer, don't comment. Like if you already know how old I am, don't comment. But if you don't know, let's get some guesses. Let's get some guesses. Send in your guesses. I'm going to grab something to drink. Whew, okay. Sorry about that, chap. I agree with your comment completely, Jin. 29, 27, 32. We've got some guesses. What do you guys think? How old am I? How old am I? A little too high, Julie. I'm not in my 30s yet. I'm not in my 30s yet, although I'm dreading it. I am 27. Danny got it exactly. Did you cheat? Are you sure you didn't cheat? 27. Well, I'm not 27 yet. I'll be 27 in September. This month. To make a start to live by the motto, just leave it alone. And that includes every thought, big or small. Even the ones that appear to be important, it's going to suck you into that negative rabbit hole, right? So start there. Start with the mental mantra of just leave it alone when those thoughts come. Those thoughts can be there if they want to be there, but we're just reminding ourselves when they are there, just leave it alone. Same with the feelings. Now, that's your biggest start right there. That's the biggest thing you can do for yourself right there. Now, if you want to take it a step further, okay, and regardless of what you do, you're always going to live by the just leave it alone. Regardless of what you do, you're always going to live by just leave it alone. But that's your start. That's your big start right there. And then from there, you can start to introduce little things. Introduce little things like getting back into small things in your daily life. Even if that's just getting up and going to the kitchen and making a sandwich for yourself. We start by doing those little things. Get back into the normal routine. Show your brain there's no danger. The biggest part of your journey is going to be starting with the mantra of just leave it alone. That's going to be the biggest part right there. That's going to do the most healing right there. But if you want, go ahead and start adding little things to that too that involve getting back into your normal daily routine, right? Big or small, if it's a positive thing, that's great. That shows the brain, that helps the brain. But the more you live by the mantra, just leave it alone, you stop getting involved, the more you'll start to heal, and that'll make getting back into your daily routine even easier. Old soul. So I've been told. So I've been told. I'm rocking this huge mustache because I like to do the handlebars, which I can't do unless I've got my wax. But I like to do the handlebars, but I never take the time to do them. Must be psychic. Must be. Must be. Oh, how I wish we could listen to actual music, like copyrighted music. That would be so much fun. That would be so much fun, but we have to stick to non-copyrighted stuff, which is kind of a bummer. We'll take what we can get. I suppose, I guess. This is pretty intense, whatever this is. I need a bigger thing behind me here. My anxiety heightens during the day. Should I just sit with my feelings? Any tips? Nothing is helping. So when you say nothing is helping, that's an obvious indication that you are trying to escape the way you feel, which resistance will always be futile. So if you want to get true help, this is going to take time. With just leave it alone and just sit with those thoughts, sit with those feelings, don't get involved. You show your brain that there's no need for overprotection. You show the brain that there's no real danger. You might be living a very stressful life situation, but there's no actual danger, and your brain believes there's danger. And it's because you continue to get involved with those thoughts and feelings. So just leave it alone needs to become your new mantra, whether you're dealing with a real life stressor or not, right? It's got some party vibes to it. Oh, here we go. Okay. Yeah, when you're in a sensitized state, when you're in a sensitized state, any sort of stimuli is going to seem a bit intense. But that'll heal. That'll heal in time the more you live by the mantra just to leave it alone. Thoughts and feelings. See, the problem is you're not giving your nerves a break because you're constantly getting involved. And when you constantly get involved, you're just pumping those nerves, right? But when you start to live by the mantra of just leave it alone, and this includes every thought, big or small, you give those nerves the break they so desperately need because your body is taking every thought that you entertain as a real threat. And that's why you're staying stuck. That's why you're staying stuck. I'm gonna drop the link to that Discord chat for anyone who wants to join us over on Discord right there. Completely free. It's like one big chat room. Come hang out with us on Discord. Also, I know we haven't done a Twitch stream in a little while. I need to do a Twitch stream. But we have streamed on the Twitch every now and then. So if you want to join us over on the Twitch, even if you're not necessarily into gaming, it's still cool just to see everybody over there, just to hang out and stuff. So if you want to join us on the Twitch, go drop us a follow right there. This is a temporary thing, you guys. You're not going to suffer for the rest of your life. You absolutely can heal. If you sensitize your nerves, that means you can desensitize your nerves. But it all starts with that new mindset of just leave it alone. And I know that feels unnatural at first. I know it's very tempting to get involved. And yeah, I know it's unnatural. It's a bad habit of getting involved. But you got to drop that. You got to start just leaving it alone, and you'll see how these things eventually fade out. They may fade out kicking and screaming, but eventually they'll fade out. It's your involvement that is keeping you stuck in this hamster wheel. I'm late, so it's like we're stoking or fanning the fire when we keep thinking about it. Yeah, when you continue, you can't control the thoughts that come, but what you can control is whether or not you're getting involved and you're poking the bear with a stick, right? So if you remind yourself, even if you have to remind yourself 1,000 times a day, just leave it alone. Eventually you will heal. Eventually you will heal. But you got to go into it with that mindset. You got to remind yourself when you're so tempted to get involved with those thoughts just to leave it alone. It's always bittersweet when I see people stop coming to the streams because I know they've healed and they no longer need to come to the streams. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people that heal and they still come and hang out. They like to hang out. But there's some people that once they heal, they just never come back. And it's a bittersweet moment. It's like, I'm so happy for you. Live your life. I'm so happy to see you healed. I miss you, but this is how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be here. You're supposed to learn what you need to do to heal, and then you're supposed to go live your life. I miss you, but I'm so happy for you. So it's bittersweet. I've had a lot of people that I've grown close to here on the channel that just don't come around anymore because they don't need to. It's cool to have the people that continue to return just to hang out, but it's bittersweet when they never return. But you know it's for the best because they're just out there living their life. We got some caffeine. Try to get going. Yeah, the Discord's awesome. I mean, if you're going to be on like online and chat rooms or whatever, which are mostly just people fear-mongering and like, you know, people who are not rooted in acceptance. If you're going to be doing the chat room thing, I would recommend you just join our Discord. I need to get Nightbot again. Nightbot is so helpful. Why don't I have Nightbot? It could do all this for me. Let's set up a Nightbot real quick. I used to have one. I don't know what happened. Let's see. Exposure type therapy. I mean, that's really just to embrace, right? So absolutely, as long as you're not getting involved and you're just letting that anxiety be, you're doing it right. Letting those thoughts just be, not getting involved, you're doing it right. You're starving the intrusive negative thoughts of the fuel they need to survive. Sometimes I can go like 2 weeks free, then thoughts come and it's hard not to entertain them. I don't know, it's annoying. You're making progress, dude. If you can spend like 2 weeks without any of that shit, obviously you're doing something right. Keep going. It takes time to retrain a brain. Doesn't mean you're going backwards. It just means you need to continue retraining. Hey, hey, what's up, Samantha? Welcome. So let's see. There is a way to use this Nightbot. To execute the command, cooldown 5 seconds. Let's see if I can do this right. All right, let's see if this works. So I should just be able to do this command. It's not working. It's not working. Why didn't it work? Didn't work. Sounded like I was listening to Newfound Glory. I love Newfound Glory. I love coming back to chat with you, Wonder Bro, by the way. LOL, you've helped so many people. I hope in the future I remember to pop in once in a while. Yes, we'd love to see you. Even if you recover, I'd love to still see you from time to time. How's your mom doing? She's doing good, man. She's doing good. We're taking things day by day, you know? Why didn't my command work? Nightbot, you useless thing. So would it work if I do this? No. It's not working, period. Okay. Oh well. We'll figure it out later. I'm not too concerned. How you doing, Jesse? What's up, Will? How you doing, man? Hope you're having a good day. I've been having anxiety since a kid, but it would always fade out. But for the past 2 years, can't seem to get it together. It used to be worse until I started watching your streams. You got this, dude. You're on the right path. Can you give me a recap, brother? Sorry, I'm late. No problem, man. So if you're late to the stream, what we talked about today is keeping it very simple. It's always nice to keep it very simple because overcomplication causes you to suffer. So your new mantra, really, is to just leave it alone. If you boil down everything that we taught to the bare bones, it would be to just leave it alone. And if you have to remind yourself 1,000 million times a day to just leave it alone, that's fine. And you probably will have to do that at first. When we say just leave it alone, we don't mean to fight with the thoughts. We mean to let them be there if they want to be there, because we can't help them coming. But to let them be there if they want to be there, and to let the feelings they bring be there too, while you don't try to get involved with it by getting up in your mind and talking back to all of it, right? So your new life mantra, just leave it alone. And that was the point of today's stream. Easier said than done. It feels so tempting to get involved. It feels unnatural to just leave it alone, but that's where you need to start. This is how you heal. If the thoughts want to be there, that's fine, but you're just leaving it alone. And eventually they will fade because you're starving them of the fuel they need to survive. I need to bookmark this this music. I really like it. How you guys doing, Will, Jesse? You're both late to class. We've been streaming for 2 hours. You're both late. You're getting detention. You're both getting detention. Oh no, I hated it. Detention. I was never really a troublesome kid, honestly, but I did get detention a few times. I like to think I was a pretty tame child. I got in trouble a few times. I did a lot of things I shouldn't have done. But compared to some of those little fuckers, man, I was a pretty good kid. I was so scared and hopeless 3 years ago finding your channel, and your videos were like that light that guided me out of the tunnel. That's awesome, Danny. Happy to hear that. I think when you're in a state of sensitization, your temperament's a little short. Obviously. I mean, you're dealing with a lot, right? I remember the thought I'd get the rush of anxiety, but then I'm practicing ignoring the thought. Yeah, and it's not so much ignoring it as it is, if it wants to be in the foreground of your mind, I mean, that's fine. As long as you're not getting involved, you'll starve it of the fuel it needs to survive, right? So the big thing is not necessarily trying to fight it away, or trying to force yourself to not think it. The big thing is just letting that intrusive negative thought be there while you remind yourself, I'm just going to leave it alone. That's the thing. This stream will be uploaded, guys, if you missed it and want to watch it from the beginning. Just need to work on anger now. Hey, man, same thing. Just sit with it. When we're able to just sit with our emotions and our thoughts and our feelings and just leave them alone, it's perfect. You need any donations still for your mom's teeth? We're like at, let's see, my savings account. The total cost of her surgery was $414, or it's going to be $414. That's the end of this month. We've got $320 saved up for it, so we're about $94 short, I think, which is pretty awesome because I just started saving for this like a couple weeks ago. So, and we're almost already there, and I have you guys to thank for that. She's going to be very, very happy with that. She's been trying to get this surgery with her mouth done for a while. I told her I would cover it, so we are almost there, and I have you guys to thank for that. So thank you so much. My wife has a super short temper problem. You think these techniques will work with that also? I mean, anytime you're able to take a back seat to your feelings and just watch them instead of getting involved and taking them personally, and you're able to just leave it alone and let that storm pass instead of trying to fight against it, you're going to make progress. You're going to make progress. You're not alone there, brother. Yeah, you're not alone there, brother. Been suffering from health anxiety for 2 years now after having my first panic attack of my life while driving. Thanks for making videos. You have helped me a lot, heading in the right direction. That is awesome. Congratulations. Proud of you. You all can recover. You all can get there, and it all starts with that mantra, just leave it alone. I know that sounds so simple, so too good to be true, but it is a lot easier said than done. It does take practice. Wonder Bro, you gave me profound advice today. Just leave it alone. Thank you for that. My pleasure, Edward. I like to keep things short and simple, right? Short and sweet. Overcomplication leads to unnecessary suffering. Go ahead and skip to a new song here. I'm just glad I'm over this stomach bug, man. Ah, so glad. When's the last time I was sensitized? So when I first started making videos on this channel, which was about 2 or 3 years ago, that's when I started to feel like I was finally coming out of this thing 100%, like my old self. And that last bout of sensitization is when I really started to use acceptance. So it's been about 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. Focusing on the present moment, yes. Anchoring yourself, always helpful. Always very helpful. It's been a long stream, man. I have to make up for missing a day. That's what it is. I have to make up for missing a day. Can't leave you guys hanging, man. No problem, David. I mean, that's when I started to come out of it the right way, using acceptance, and I felt I had finally fully recovered 100%, is when I first started making videos. There was a video I did about 6 months into making videos where I had like a brush of panic, but then I went on to explain in that video how it was pretty much nothing and meant nothing to me because of acceptance. So I started making videos when I felt 100%. A few months after, I still had brushes with these feelings, but it's been a while since I've had any sort of brush with panic or anything like that. It's been quite some time. I mean, I still have normal people anxiety from time to time, right? My mind wants to worry. I'm still a human being, but with the skills that I have, I mean, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. I mean, if I notice myself start to obsess about anything in my life, I just use the skills that I have. Because as a human, you're still going to notice your mind want to drift off. You're still going to notice the mind wanting to obsess. And that's why I say these skills are great to have even after you've desensitized. Physical sensations, and you want to be focused on the moment, but the physical symptoms are the moment. So physical symptoms without the negative filter of the mind are just that. They're just physical symptoms. They don't turn into suffering or true suffering until we start to attach negative interpretations, right? So you can be with those physical feelings as long as you're not adding negative mental interpretations. Those physical feelings are no longer a problem. Hey, Danny, you're on the right track. You're getting there. I mean, my time frame's not perfect. Something like 3.5 years. Something like that. But again, I mean, as a human being, you're still going to have those moments where your mind wants to worry. And that's why I say, even after you've desensitized and you return to a normal life, these are good skills to have, and these are good skills to practice. Just leaving it alone should be your mantra, whether you're sensitized or not. Don't fuel that mind. Don't fuel that negative mind. It doesn't matter if you're not sensitized. You should still live by this. Your PC's coming today, Jesse? That's awesome, dude. What are we going to play? I don't know, man. I've got a lot of games. That's exciting. Exactly, Jesse. You summed it up right there. It's very ironic, but it's very true. Very true. Very, very, very true. And we got quite a few people in here. Let's get those likes up. Hit that like button. If you're enjoying the stream, you want to help us grow, hit that like button. And I will be right back. Right back. Agree 100%. Allie Grayman talks about that. By the way, I've heard her mentioned a lot. I've seen a couple of her videos. Good stuff. Talks about that too, using the skills to decrease your overall sensitivity and reactivity to life in general to create great overall mental health. Yes, exactly. So, in layman's terms, after you desensitize, keep using the advice. So we got some food here, chat. Hopefully this sits well with my stomach. I know, I'm a genius. I just got over a stomach bug. I need to eat. Let's get fast food. Genius. What do we got here, you may ask? So we're going to start with some nuggies. It's a lot of nuggies. 3 down. Number 4. Going home. I get excited when I'm eating. I'm just like, yeah, buddy. I got a Frosty. You give me a fork? I'm supposed to eat a Frosty with a fork. Come on, Wendy's. What's wrong with you? I need to take this slowly, man. My stomach is still like... I really need to take this slowly, but it's just so good. Where's my drink? Oh, it's right here. Oh, I need to slow down a bit, chat. My stomach's not ready for this, man. I need to slow down a bit. Oh. Your mind is like a computer. It spits out pop-ups. Don't log into them. Yes, or you might catch a virus. The thoughts will keep coming for a little while, but the more you practice just leaving them alone, they'll stop coming because you're not showing them importance anymore. I didn't continue to live life by the 2 main keys. Exactly, Jen. That happens to a lot of people. It's very normal. We're so close to 30 likes, guys. If you're watching this stream and you haven't hit the like button, hit that like button. It helps us grow. Takes 2 seconds. Hit that like button, guys. Because this is quality content. Being able to watch me eat chicken nuggets. This is what you all came here to see. That was disgusting. Feels good to get some energy, man. Man, I got cheese fries in here too, but I'm just not going to be able to do that. I'm just not going to be able to do that. We're going to have to hold off on the cheese fries. That's about all my stomach can handle right now. But that's kind of a bummer because they're no good if you heat them up. Fries are never good if you heat them up in the microwave. Hey, we just hit 30 likes. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. So, guys, I've been wanting to get into a Netflix series, right? Just to give me something to do. What do you guys recommend? Recommend me some good Netflix series. William, thank you for the $20 dono, dude. Out of nowhere, William with the $20 dono, man. You guys are crazy today. Wow. We have destroyed today's tip goals. I appreciate it, man. Larry, okay, I'm out here. Have a good night. Larry, thank you so much for your donation, dude. I hope you have a good night, man. Sleep well. Larry, William, Camo, thank you guys so much for your donations today. I truly, truly appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the support. Thank you, thank you. Thank you again, William, out of nowhere with the $20 dono, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You guys are so kind, and I truly appreciate it because it does help me a ton. William, welcome to the stream. MVP, your name will be re-entered into the tip ticker. Bragging rights right there. Thank you so much, guys. Truly appreciate you. That's very, very generous of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's keep this party going. Yeah, thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate it. You guys are awesome. There was a song that played earlier, and I really, really liked it. Is it here? I think it's here. I think. Thank you for that dono, dude. Wonder, bro, how do you know if you're almost recovered, man? It becomes gradual. It's so gradual that there's not this like grand moment where you're like, oh, I'm recovered. It gradually happens. You start to feel yourself naturally shift back into who you once were before. You start to feel those feelings start to fade away. It happens very gradually, but you will notice it. You will notice it. Thank you again so much, William, Larry, Camo. Thank you guys so much for your donations. I truly appreciate it. You guys have no idea. It means a ton to me, and it helps me out a lot. Thank you so much. I love this song. It's stuck in my head. It's catchy. How long were you? Almost 2.5 hours? Wow, that's a long stream. Nothing like a melted frosty. That is awesome, Migs. You're definitely making progress, dude. Keep it up. That's good. It's good stuff. Probably got ice cream all over my face. I'm still a child. I use my shirt to wipe my mouth. Yeah, that's hella good progress, Migs. Congrats, dude. Hey, if anybody's watching this stream right now and you have any questions, feel free to ask. I mean, once we get like this deep into the stream, like an hour, 2 hours into the stream, I mean, we're all just hanging out and chilling, right? So if you have a question, don't be afraid to ask, man. It's perfect time for like a little bit of a Q&A, so feel free to ask. Don't be shy, man. Also, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Join us. We'd love to see you here again in the future. We're almost at that 9K mark. Hey, keep going, Migs. Keep growing, man. I mean, where else on YouTube do you go to watch a chunky dude with an awesome mustache drink melted Frosties and eat chicken nuggets? I mean, this is the kind of content that you can't find anywhere else on YouTube. So if you don't subscribe, you're only hurting yourself. You're only hurting yourself. Honestly. I'm so glad we could get the mic hook backed up, a new mic arm here. Sounds so good. Whew. I gotta take it easy though, bro, with this stomach bug. I gotta take it easy. Gustavo, dude, what's up, bro? I have a couple questions, man. Hit me. We're just hanging out, dude. What's up, man? It's been a minute. That's awesome, Migs. I appreciate that, dude. I've still got that song stuck in my head. I gotta hear it one more time. Just one more time. One more time. It's so good. Ugh. It's came back hard, not struggling like in the beginning. So it's not came back like it was when it first began, but it's coming back, a little bit, kind of hitting you a little bit hard, unexpected. I think that's what makes it hard after you go so long and it comes back. You're not expecting it. So basically what's happening is, you're sort of new to recovery. I mean, you've been in this thing for a while. You've made great progress, but in the grand scheme of things, you're just now really starting to make true changes to your brain. So the fact that it's came back for a little bit of a visit, okay, all this time later, is not really a huge surprise, and it's not something that should shake you up too much. This is the kind of to be expected, just like the video I made 6 months into my recovery when I had a brush of panic. It's very, very normal. Very, very normal. So first and foremost, understand that this is normal. Secondly, you're just now starting to make these great changes to your brain. All this is a perfect opportunity for you to show your brain and reinforce the fact that you don't need these protective, intrusive thoughts, that you don't need these protective feelings. Just leave it alone. Don't overthink this thing. Very, very normal for this to happen. This isn't a setback. This is just your body making sure that you don't need protection, that there is no danger. This is not a setback. This is just a perfect opportunity for you to show your body, to show your brain that you are okay. So take advantage of this, because every time this happens and you just leave it alone, you are reinforcing the idea to your brain that you are okay. So this is a perfect opportunity, okay? It's not a setback. It is a perfect opportunity for you to continue your retraining. You will come out of this stronger than you were before. So this is a good thing. At the end of the day, this is not a bad thing. This is not a quote-unquote setback. This is a good thing. So keep that in mind and just leave it all alone. All right? This is perfect. This is good. This is good. Every time you just leave it alone, you continue to retrain that brain a little bit more. So this is great. Yeah, don't overthink it, man. If you're trying to practice presence, you feel a bit of an emptiness. Don't overthink anything that you feel in presence. Just be with what you feel and know that it's okay. The mind tries to overcomplicate everything. That's just what the mind does. But yeah, Gustavo, man, this is actually a good thing, dude. It's actually a good thing because you can take advantage of this now. You can take advantage of this. That's awesome. I mean, every time you're anxious and you allow yourself to just sit with it and just let those thoughts be and let those feelings be, you continue to retrain your brain a bit more. So this is perfect. Perfect opportunity. That's why I don't like the term setback. I think the only time we should use the term setback is if we've accidentally stumbled back into bad old habits and continue to use those bad old habits, then you might be giving yourself a bit of a setback. But just being revisited by the feelings is just a perfect opportunity to continue retraining your brain and to come out of it even stronger. So I don't even like the term setback. The only time we should use that term is if we've started to pick up bad habits again. But to be revisited by the anxiety is not a setback. Doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. It means that you're given another chance to continue retraining your brain. And that's not a bad thing. You need that. You need that. So that's awesome. Just leave it alone. Leave those thoughts alone. Leave those feelings alone. Stop touching any of it. And you'll come out of it even stronger. So that's great. You can't retrain your brain if you're not anxious. So. And it's bound to happen. When you're new to this, right? Yeah, man, like I said, Jesse, it's not exactly. It feels unnatural, right, at first. It feels unnatural, it feels uncomfortable, but that's normal. What is this? Like a Viking battle horn over here. Pass that, bro. What is this all of a sudden, like, Viking Skyrim music? I kind of dig it. Not gonna lie. You just got to continue practicing, Jess. You got to continue practicing leaving it alone, man. Make that your new mantra. Live by that daily. A lot of times we don't even realize we're arguing with thoughts. So you got to stay on top of things, right? I like this. I like whatever this is. Denise with the $10 dono. Thank you so much, Denise. That's so kind of you. $10 dono from Denise. She says, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. I'm glad that people are catching on to that and enjoying that. It's a very simple way to put it. I like to keep things simple. You guys have smashed the tip goal today. Thank you so much. You don't know. You don't even begin to understand how much that helps me. Thank you so much for the $10 dono, Denise. Can we show some love in the chat to her and all of our donators from today? William, Larry, get out of my face, fly. William, Larry, Camo, Denise, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Let's show her some love. Let's show all of our donators some love just for a minute here. Did you get my question, or was I just not paying attention? Let's see. I may have missed it. I probably missed it. Let me see. Did you go through a period where you feel fully recovered, you don't have any symptoms or anxiety, but still get those intrusive thoughts pop up every once in a while? Yeah, and that's what we were talking about earlier. As a human being, you're still going to get some intrusive thoughts from time to time. If you think back before you became desensitized, there was still a time where, as a human being, you experience weird, negative, intrusive thoughts, and that's completely normal. It only becomes a problem when it turns into sensitization. But as a human being, you're still going to have a mind. And that's why I say the advice is good to use even after you've desensitized, right? Yeah, let's show some love for our donors. Spam those emojis. Thank you guys so much. You enable me to be able to do what I love to do and focus on it full time. So thank you so much to all of my donators out there. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank you. I am so grateful. Thank you so much. You guys are fucking awesome. We have smashed the tip goal today. Thank you guys. Just leave it alone. I'm glad people like that saying. It's so simple, and we need to keep this thing simple. Overcomplication leads to so much unnecessary suffering. I've said it a million times before, and I'll probably say it a million times in the future. Overcomplication leads to so much unnecessary suffering. What's this Titanic music over here? Thoughts are just thoughts. Yes, thoughts will always be just thoughts. It's whether or not you log in and get involved that's going to make the difference. Whether or not you're going to continue to suffer and continue to sensitize your nerves. It's okay to let the thoughts be there. It may not feel like they're going to leave if you let them be there, but it's actually the opposite is true. If you just let them be there instead of getting involved, just leave it alone, they will eventually fade, your nerves will heal. It's when you get involved that you continue to stress your nerves out. I know I've replayed this song like 10 times. It's just so good. It's so catchy. It's stuck in my head. I'm a heavyweight. Because you're still just in a bad habit, Jesse. Old habits die hard, right? That's all it is. It takes time, Jesse. Jesse, don't beat yourself up, dude. Just because you think it doesn't mean it's necessarily true. Exactly. And thoughts come, negative intrusive thoughts come without our say so. It's whether or not we do anything with it that's going to make the difference. Old habits die hard, Jesse. That's all it is. That's all it is. Just continue to practice, man. Abraham, dude, coming out of nowhere with the $5 dono. Abraham, Wonderbro equals pure awesomeness. Thank you so much for that. No, dude, thank you for the $5 dono. Clear the throat a little bit. Thank you, Abraham, man. I truly appreciate that, dude. Thank you, man. You're awesome. Right there. Thank you so much, dude. Donator's been so generous today. Thank you guys so much. Truly. Means a ton to me. Means a ton to me. Just wondering if the intrusive thoughts eventually faded out for you, if you went through that stage as well. Eventually, those particular intrusive thoughts that it became sticky will fade out, yes. It's just you've entertained them unknowingly for so long that they're a bit sticky, but they will fade out. Thank you again, Abraham, for that $5 dono, my man. Everybody today, thank you guys so much. Gustavo, you must have went directly through the PayPal, which is fine, but I just noticed that you sent a $20 donation. Thank you so much, Gustavo. Sorry I didn't get to that earlier, dude. When you go directly through the PayPal, it takes me a minute because sometimes I don't get notified, but thank you so much, Gustavo, for that $20 dono. Wow, you guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate you. That is awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I always feel bad when I don't catch those, but sometimes PayPal's really like delayed. Can you imagine what people went through years ago without any technology or even clear understanding of the symptoms? Be thankful. Yeah, I mean, very good point. Read the caption. Okay, 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I love you, dude. I love you, Gustavo. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've got to have our back and forth. Since we've had our back and forth. That's awesome. Thank you so much, dude. I truly appreciate that. That's awesome. I agree completely, though. Can you imagine what people went through years ago without any technology or clear understanding of symptoms? I mean, I imagine they went through a lot of what I went through before I found out about acceptance, right? It's just pure terror because you don't know what's going on. But when you get it explained to you and put simply, it makes it a lot easier. So. Thank you so much for your donations, guys. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually helping my mom get a surgery on her mouth done at the end of this month. I told her I would cover it. She's been wanting to get it done for a while now. It's kind of pricey, but I've been putting back little by little, saving up for it. And I'm about $50 away from being able to pay for that completely. So thank you guys so much. It's all thanks to you guys and your donations that I'm able to do stuff like that. And of course, just able to feed myself in general. So thank you guys so much for all that you do. You're going to make my mom very, very happy. And you enable me to continue getting fatter and fatter. So thank you so much for all that you do. I appreciate it. I've been feeling great, recovered for a while now. When I get a worry, I still don't give it any reaction, so it doesn't bother me. That is awesome. Keep moving forward, and you will continue to make progress. I mean, just like Gustavo, you are fairly new to this whole recovery thing, so it's very normal to have a few ups and downs here and there, but just continue going forward, and you will make progress. And Wonder Bro, how do you change the brain? By just leaving it alone. It is the involvement with these thoughts that are making them sticky. It is the involvement that is continuing to stress the nerves out. If you want to make a great change to your brain, start by living by that mantra, just leave it alone, right? It is your reaction, it is your involvement that is keeping all this stuff around. I need to bookmark this because this is actually some of the best music I've found that's copyright free in a long time. Man, I ate a fat burger with cheese, jalapenos, and avocado. Highly recommended. That sounds good, dude. So, example, a thought comes, how to respond like for all thoughts. Leave it alone. Just remind yourself to leave it alone. You don't have to log into any thought. Don't have to log into any thought. And your mind will try to overcomplicate it outside of that. But because at the end of the day, a thought is just a thought. A thought is just a thought. You don't have to log into any thought. A thought is a suggestion, which is always based on some sort of BS. But you don't have to log in. And let's say, for example, the thought's not based on BS. Maybe it's just an interpretation of something that you're going through. You still don't have to log in because there's no point in overthinking things. So a thought's just a suggestion, and most of the time it's a very unhelpful suggestion. You don't have to log in. Just leave it alone, and it'll pass. But if you log in, then you've gave it permission. All right, guys, we're about 3 hours, like a couple minutes from the 3 hour mark here. I like that. A thought is a suggestion. Exactly. Not even challenge it. Don't even challenge it. If you challenge it, you're getting too involved and you've already logged in. So don't even challenge it. Just don't log in at all. Just leave it alone, right? But we're about 2 minutes from the 3-hour mark, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. You guys have been so amazing. I appreciate your support, your love. Thank you for everything. 9K subs right around the corner, and I'm so, so thankful. Thank you, guys. Thank you to all my donators. If you enjoyed this stream, make sure you leave a like. It really does help the streams grow. Thank you so much, again, for all that you do, and I will catch you in the next stream and or video. Let me drop the link to the Discord one last time. If you want to join us on the Discord, boom, right there. You've got a few seconds. Click that link and join us on the Discord. Like this stream, and I will see you guys in the next stream and or video. All right. I love you guys. 9K subs. Here we come. Right there. Stay awesome.